Welcome back to another episode of It's Debatable. I'm your host for today, Sebastian, here with co-host Justin. Clearly, Jalen's not here because he was feeling a little bit, too tempered in our head. But hopefully he could be back with us next week while we talk our new segment on NFL. So to start things off, is the season that started this far. I believe we're in week 4? Yeah, week 4 or week five. Yeah, week 5, going to week 5. A lot has transpired since the beginning of the season. We wanted to get to this originally before, but management and stuff like that. So but we're here now. We're gonna talk NFL. So to start things off, going into week 5, I want to ask you, Justin, which team have you been impressed with so far?
All right, so to me, it comes down to two teams. Right, I want to talk the Kansas City Chiefs, but then also the Minnesota Vikings. But if I had to choose between one, I had to say the Minnesota Vikings because I just didn't think just Sam Darnold as your quarterback, you could potentially, if they beat the Jets tomorrow, just be a 5-0 team. I definitely like what the offensive weapons they have. They have Justin Jefferson, and they just have a whole bunch of talent on the roster, but I thought Sam Darnold's career was over. We definitely seen what happened.
Definitely a revamp.
Definitely with the Jets. So they definitely just struck gold right there. I didn't think they would just be off to this fast start. They've just been great offensively. The defense has been holding up. It seems like they're definitely just gonna make the playoffs. My problem is that the playoffs are just a different type of animal, right. and we seen just quarterbacks kind of wet the bed. I remember last year, right? Chiefs and the Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson, everything was in his favor to get it done. Just coming off the MVP award, and he had one of his worst games, one of the biggest moments. As this season continues, and the Minnesota Vikings do in fact make the playoffs, the moment is going to continue to get bigger and bigger, and we're going to see if Sam Darnold is that guy, because you're really going to go as far as your quarterback is going to take you in the NFL, right? Look at the Miami Dolphins. They lost Tua, and now they can't get 2 yards. So the quarterback play is just so essential. The Minnesota Vikings have been the most impressive team thus far, but shout out to the Kansas City Chiefs because they just keep finding ways to win. Whether it's a close game, I know they just beat your Los Angeles Chargers, right? Man. So the Andy Reid, Mahomes, even throughout all the injuries, they're finding a way. But I gotta give the nod to the Vikings.
Oh man, I agree to that point too. Just with the Chargers. I mean, not the Chargers, with the Vikings. Just everything that we've seen this far with this team, just the addition of Aaron Jones too as well. I feel like we look at it as Justin Jefferson. He might be the best receiver in the league. Well, it's hands down. To me, Justin Jefferson
is debatable. I don't know if it's
besides Tyreek Hill right now. To me, in this league right now, Justin Jefferson to
that point. If I'm drafting a team, I'm taking Tyreek Hill over Justin Jefferson.
I'll take Justin Jefferson.
There's no quarterback for the Dolphins.
Even if there is a quarterback, Justin Jefferson has it. I don't care if it's a coverage. I don't care if it's a coverage. I don't care if it's a man. I don't care if it's the best quarterback.
We seen week 1. The cops stopped my man Tyreek Hill on the way to the game, came and had one of the best games we ever seen, bro.
I'm talking about cheddar right now, though. I'm talking about Sam Darnold is looking impressive because of Justin Jefferson. I'm telling you, you put any
Sam
quarterback
Darnold
next
is looking good because of the coaching staff.
You put any quarterback next to Justin Jefferson, nigga, look like a star quarterback. You could put fucking, what is it, that Tyler Huntley nigga that's the backup quarterback.
We can't just say, and there's not. All right, hold on. You got to be good enough though. Sam Darnold is a good quarterback in the NFL. We just have to go off what we are seeing.
But we're talking about.
You can't just say frivolous names out here. Like, I don't know about that.
Fair enough. But I'm just talking about just how Justin Jefferson look. He's good. He's most likely to be offensive player of the year. Between him or Derrick Henry, in my opinion.
I think there's still a lot of season left to play. We have to continue.
And the thing is, he scores this weekend too. He's gonna score again. He's not going to score.
Justin Jefferson. I mean, the Jets' defense is okay. Right.
You believe in Sauce Gardner could guard him?
That's definitely going to be the matchup of the morning, right? The game will be on very, very early in London. Matchup of the day, I think Justin Jefferson will get the best of him. Sauce Gardner is still kind of young in his career. The defense is going to have to hold up if the Jets are going to be in that game period. I think Aaron Rodgers will be solid. He's starting to find his, get that chemistry a lot with his receivers. We seen Lazard starting to get it going.
They already got that 1-2 chemistry.
Williams.
It's on him to get it
Right,
going.
I think it's on Garrett Wilson. I think he's the one that's going to have to get it going to really unlock this whole Jets team. Brees Hall, we've seen him in that running back position. He's been playing well thus far. Didn't have he had his worst game of the season last week. I definitely think he will bounce back, but I think they're gonna have to make a move.
Shoot, I don't disagree with you on that, but got a little bit off topic. But from my opinion on which team has been like the most surprising, like the most impressive this far, I would have to go with the Washington Commanders. Jaden Daniels, just what he has done this far within the season. Is looked impressive as a rookie, and you know a lot of people are high hopes on him, and he's just delivering more so than Caleb Williams. Like when we talk about it, that's rookie of the year in everybody's opinion. When we look at it, just the players that he have with just Brian Robinson and just Terry, I forgot how to pronounce the last name, but just what he has thus far with his team, it looks like an offensive juggernaut, and the defense is holding on to their own too. So now when you have a quarterback that comes in, he don't got to worry about timing and possession on how just to game manage. He's more so just focused on just getting his team just the best offensive possessions time by time to go along. So to me, the Washington Commanders, I don't know how long they could keep this up though. I just want to see how they go against, you know, very good competition teams like, you know, the Baltimore Ravens of the world, the Kansas Chiefs of the world. Like just what's on their schedule, just the real competition teams. But just far on what we've seen too, especially against the Bengals too, for a team that came out with a hot start, a team that more so had a chip on their shoulder due to the fact that they started off their season like shit, which we're going to get into next. More so that they came out and they still was resilient enough to hold on to their own and still managed to put up two. I have to say the Washington Commanders too. I definitely want to see what's next in store for them. The future looks bright for this team, for a team that's look crap for, you know, most of this season, for the past couple seasons.
Right.
For them to be where they are right now, it's just showing improvement. More so, let's see what they do towards the future and towards the end of the season. But it has to be the Washington Commanders me so far.
All right, you talk about Jaden Daniels off to a historic start to start his rookie season, right? And you did make the comparison to Caleb Williams. Let me ask you, did the Chicago Bears drop the ball and did they make the wrong pick at number one? Should they have taken Jaden Daniels? We seen Caleb Williams struggle a little bit. I think the offensive line has to be better. He's definitely getting sacked a lot. I definitely think that's hurting him. It seems like he needs a lot of time in the pocket, right? And then when he tries to scramble, it just hasn't been the best. All that scrambling stuff and just running outside the pocket, that looks very good in college.
It's
that
not gonna go
doesn't
through,
really a lot of times translate to the NFL.
It doesn't, because
the only
used to get into
quarterback I
400
really
yards.
see doing that right now is Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson.
It's a skill at the end of the day.
Right, but that's not. I feel like a lot of times we want to see what you could do in the pocket, because I think that's what it's gonna come down to the most. If you're really gonna be a successful quarterback and have a long career, right? So did the Bears make the wrong choice?
I don't believe they made the wrong choice, because just everything that you've seen from Caleb Williams in college is just like he was bound to be a star. It was just like it would be absurd if you didn't take Caleb Williams number one. Because at the end of the day, just the gas and the hype and what you've seen is just like maybe it could translate within the league. And a lot of times more so it takes a while, because we've seen it again with Bryce Young. He just lost his starting starting quarterback position.
Well deserved. Well deserved.
Yeah, but in Alabama, we was thinking he was the next big thing. A lot of times these rookie quarterbacks, I don't think they're ready. This is a man's game too. In football, the transition from being in college into a man's game, these are people that are hungry. I'm talking about they want to take your head off just to get their next contract. They want to sack you for their next contract. So I just think that just the aggression and just the physicality of the game has changed, and more so just with the offensive line too. It's more so just like they're not holding their end of the deal too. But Caleb Williams has to be quicker. He has to get out the pocket a little bit more quicker. He has to make these quick decisions. This NFL game is really on this instinct. Like it really has to be 1, 2, 3. Like what is your next decision? What is that? He might have to run the ball a little bit more. A run game is gonna definitely help within, especially for a young quarterback. You're supposed to be able to run the ball to at least get to the first. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, though, you have fresh legs. Like a lot of these quarterbacks,
yeah,
they're
but if you
older.
don't have those right pieces on your team that's going to protect you, because now you don't want to put your quarterback in the position like they put all their chips into that kid.
Right.
So now he gets hurt, he's scrambling out the pocket, right? Just one concussion, right? Look at Tua, right? And now you got all these problems. You don't want to run into that, so you got to be cautious, right? I'm pretty sure when they're making those play calls, they're not trying to have him do that too much.
And here's the thing, though. How much do we blame it on coaching, too, as well? Because when we look
Well,
at it,
with these quarterbacks, I feel like I already know what you're about to get into. These quarterbacks have to be put in the right situation.
right.
Right, we seeing sometimes they're drafted, and if you're going to a certain organization that hasn't done things for the last 15 years, you're not gonna find that Jesus Christ that you're gonna draft and just change the world. Bryce Young was good in Alabama, right? Last year, the Panthers were still trash. So now you putting Bryce Young on there, that's not gonna change your organization. You still have the same owner.
But now
You
look
still
at
have a
it,
lot of
though.
the same pieces upstairs that has made you such a bad franchise, right? Look at Sam Darnold when he was on the Jets. Now the Jets have moving in the right direction now, right? But when Sam Darnold was there, it didn't work out, and he looked like shit, almost out the league. You put him on the Minnesota Vikings, just a better organization overall, and now he's flourishing, and he's probably number one in MVP.
But now look at it like this, though, too. When we bench, when the Panthers bench Bryce Young, Andy Dalton got that start, it looked like a whole 360 team, though.
Andy Dalton is a veteran.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Maybe is it are we blaming it because of experience, or should it be coaching now too? Because look what just happened with Justin Fields. He's in a whole new situation. He looks like like he did a whole 360.
The NFL is just so different because you only get a certain amount of games. If you look at the NBA with these rookies, you get an 82 game season.
Yeah, 82. Yeah,
you have a lot of more times to mess up, right? The Panthers are not making the playoffs now. I don't give a fuck.
No, they're not.
I don't give a fuck what Dalton does because Bryce Young for those first 3 to 4 games played like shit and they couldn't win nothing. Every game matters, so it's like, but hopefully they don't trade him and he could learn. He has to learn the NFL game right now, especially because of his size. He's the size of Kyle. So it's like we can't just act like he was gonna change the world. Look at Kyle Murray when he first got in.
Right.
He didn't.
Kyle Murray had to build that strength and speed.
He's
too.
just now getting the niche of it.
Right.
But the hottest topic in the NFL, so we don't forget, Davante Adams requested a trade. Right? One of the best receivers, when healthy, still in the NFL. What team do you think needs him the most?
I think fuck all the noise about the Jets. The Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs need Davante Adams. I think it's been a while since Patrick Mahomes has had a top receiver like Tyreek Hill. He's made the best of what he has. Patrick Mahomes is that good to where wherever he has on the field with him, whoever he has on the field with him, he's going to maximize their potential. We've seen it time and time again in the Super Bowl. We've seen it just even this season too. With Travis Kelce, the way he has been playing, and the fact that they're still 4-0, it goes to show how well of a quarterback Patrick Mahomes is. So now you pair him up with Davante Adams to where if he's going to throw a 50-yard or a 60-yard long ball, and Davante Adams is going to catch that, oh man, that's just going to open up the offense even more. So I feel like just Davante Adams and Patrick Mahomes, they have to find a way to get it done. Because even Xavier Worthy too, isn't he injured right now too? You're dealing with a bunch of injuries for the Chiefs. You're dealing with that Isaiah Pacheco. You don't know when he's gonna come back. A star-studded player that's somebody that's coming into his own now. I believe year two or year 3. He's coming into his own now, and you don't know how long he's going to be out for. So if you could get a receiver to where it's a dynamic 1-2 punch, and eventually Travis Kelce could come along too, that's going to go a long way. And for the Kansas City Chiefs, I know how bad they want to 3-peat right now. So I feel like it's a match made in heaven. They have to find a way to get it. I don't want to hear nothing about the Jets right now. I don't want to hear nothing about no other team. The Kansas City Chiefs and Davante Adams, that has to get done.
All right, well, those are gonna be my top 2 teams. I was definitely gonna say the Kansas City Chiefs, just for the fact that they do need that receiver, just due to all the injuries that has been going on. But we definitely have to say the New York Jets, just due to that relationship with Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams. We seen what they did when they were both on the Packers. They had all those great moments. I already know Rodgers had called his phone. It's all up to the organization if they're going to be able to get that done. But like I said earlier, if the Jets are going to be able to be a serious team and that coach wants to save his job, even though he should be fired right now, they're gonna have to do more than just make the playoffs. They're damn near just gonna have to reach the Super Bowl. And they can do it, I feel, just based off the regular season, who they have to face, and then just the division they're in. But they just need another piece. And I think Davante Adams, a person that Aaron Rodgers could trust. If Aaron Rodgers does not trust you, he's not really going to throw you the ball that much.
That's true. Because even Alan Lazard, he's managed to get him a couple targets, a couple receptions too, off the strength that he knows him.
But we've seen, right, Mr. Wilson, he was supposed to have this breakout season. It hasn't really happened thus far.
It's not connecting too.
Right?
So
but it's that trust factor, right? So now because Garrett Wilson is still young, right? Hasn't really been proven yet. Has great hands, tall, and all that. Has the NFL body, but doesn't have the experience. You bring experienced Devontae Adams, it can put the Jets in that championship conversation, right? But then I would also say a sleeper team, the New Orleans Saints. Right. Just his connection with Derek Carr.
You think in a new, different organization that'll look better than what it did with the Raiders?
Right. It didn't really work out with the Raiders. I definitely just think what the Saints have done thus far, they've had one of the best offensive. Their defense has been solid. If you add now another receiver, that once again, that relationship, right, with him and Derek Carr, I definitely think that would be a sight to see.
With the addition of Alvin Kamara too. Alvin Kamara is definitely having one of his better seasons. Shout out to Alvin Kamara too as well. I didn't even think about that too. That's crazy.
Right.
That's definitely a good. That would definitely be a good picker. But the options are limitless too. But for you to even say just the Jets, it's just more so. It's just like, is it going to be the same connection how it is in Green Bay? When we looking at it, is Garrett Wilson going to be that trustworthy second receiver? Because right now it hasn't clicked at all, too. It looked better when Zach Wilson was connected with Garrett Wilson than it has with Aaron Rodgers this far. Aaron Rodgers has a better connection with Breece Hall than he does with Garrett Wilson. Yeah. And that's kind of crazy to say because Aaron Rodgers could get it to any receiver in this game. But it seems like, especially against the Broncos game, it just, oh, man. I couldn't believe what I saw in that game, man. Just a game that's supposed to just be a hand-me game. Especially for what we seen in the game before that against the what team that they did with the Patriots. We thought they had it figured out. We thought, all right, this team got their win under the belt. It's time to roll. And then you go out there the next week, the following week to do that. And now you got to play the Minnesota Vikings, a team that's already hot right now, and you're still trying to figure it out.
The Jets win tomorrow. The Jets win tomorrow by at least a touchdown. Aaron Rodgers for 300 plus yards. Breece Hall 2 touchdowns.
Breece Hall. Right. How does Garrett Wilson play? Does he figure it out? Does he get in the end zone?
Garrett Wilson gets in the end zone.
Oh, man.
Third quarter. I'm giving y'all the ticket slip right now.
All right, Garrett Wilson, anytime touchdown score. I'll place that right now. I'll place that on the stretch. That's at least plus 300, bro, because he's not, bro. Yeah. He's not. Allen Lazard has a better chance of scoring than Garrett Wilson this season, man. And that's kind of crazy to say.
Okay, but we're running out of time. Right, we talked about how the Jets had a disappointing loss to the Denver Broncos, but overall, who has been the most disappointing team thus far?
Oh, it has to be the Cincinnati Bengals. Oh, for it, man, they've been crap. Just the manner that they're losing in. They start off slow every season for the past 2 seasons since they made the Super Bowl. The Cincinnati Bengals has always had a slow start, and the fact they started off 0-3, right? No team has made the playoffs going 0-3. And you're going to tell me that Joe Burrow is going to flip the script? It's not happening. I don't know.
If anyone, it could be Joe Burrow.
No, man. No, I'm tired of this Joe Burrow talk. I don't know what's going on. Somebody that was a star-studded projected it, made the Super Bowl.
The only one that really rivals Patrick Mahomes, though.
At this point, he does it because what is he doing? What has Joe Burrow done since going to the Super Bowl? He hasn't done nothing.
Injury,
fair enough. But right now he looks pretty healthy, and the fact he started 0-3
in that first game, we seen him on the sidelines going like this with the hand. Like I'm just.
So now, are we talking about a quarterback that's not healthy, or are we gonna talk about just the team in general? Because when you're on the floor, if you're healthy enough to be on the floor, you're held accountable for how you play.
Of course, I'm not saying your pick is wrong. I'm just saying that they still have time to flip it around. They did get their last one. Now you just got to build momentum. I'm not saying if any quarterback can just get them over the hump now and turn things around, I think it is Joe Burrow.
Shoot, so are you banking on them to make the playoffs or the wild card?
I need to see more.
I got to see more, too. I got
to see what happens tomorrow.
I got to see more, too. And what it looks like, Jamar Chase is ready to pack his bags and hop on the next flight to the next team. T. Higgins was supposed to get traded. Oh, who the fuck is there? I'm already missing a running back, but it's been a mess.
Right.
I don't know what to make of this team no more because when I look at Joe Burrow, I thought he was the next thing up. I thought he was going to be right there with Patrick Mahomes. That was going to be his complimentary rival, like a Manning and fucking Brady or some shit like that. It hasn't panned out like that to me. So to me, it has to be the Cincinnati Bengals.
I'm not mad at the pick being the Cincinnati Bengals, but a team that's just been, I just don't know what they're going to do. And it's the Cleveland Browns. just have offensive talent. You're talking about Amari Cooper at the wide receiver. They still have a whole bunch of weapons on the team, but it's like Deshaun Watson. I don't know what happened to him. The fall of Deshaun Watson needs to be studied.
Oh, fuck.
He went on a damn masseuse spree and then was never the same since. And I thought they were supposed to make you feel better. So I'm not sure, like, what I'm like. No, they're supposed to make no. I'm talking about the
He too loose out there. That's the problem, man.
No, but I'm talking about the regular massages, not the ones he was
The
going
happy
for.
endings, nah.
Like, but those two, they're supposed to make you feel more rejuvenated. So I don't see why now he's on the field and it's not producing. But it has to be
The court case is fucking with his head, man.
It has to be a mental thing.
Every time he trying to run a play, he thinking about, damn, I got a court coming up.
But he has to realize how much money they just gave him. I don't know why that franchise decided to do that. And I don't want to hear you got to give the money to somebody. No, you don't. I think you could just keep
Watson, though.
So
they probably think about prime Deshaun Watson.
They gotta bench him. They just have to. You already
and
made,
who start? Jameson Winston?
Yeah.
Jameson Winston, you're gonna start him.
Seb,
that's a W. That nigga.
Seb,
you got time to eat a W.
Have you seen Deshaun Watson?
Have you seen Jameson Winston, bro? He's a fucking goof, bro. I fuck with him too.
Like, no, but we seen him last time in the Saints. He wasn't decent.
No. The Saints didn't make the playoffs?
Bro, I didn't say they made the playoffs. I said when he was
decent
out there,
is at least making the playoffs or something, bro. When I
think of bad, I think Zach Wilson. Last time when I seen him on the Saints, he was
I'd rather have Zach Wilson right now on the Browns than have Jameson Winston start as my QB1.
No, So
yes.
Zach Wilson is not an NFL quarterback.
Oh my gosh, bro. I'd rather have
He's backing up Bo Nix, and Bo Nix can't throw for more than 60 yards a game.
He still managed to get a window. Deshaun Watson right now is crap. And who they beat? The Giants or they lost to the Giants? I think they lost to the Giants, bro. They lost to Daniel Jones. I'd rather have Daniel Jones as QB1, bro.
Bro, you lost to a Daniel Jones-led team. And then like the Bengals, the Bengals still have direction.
They have talent.
You still have Joe Burrow. They have Deshaun Watson as their quarterback, and he's not there.
If you put Amari Cooper anywhere else, Kareem Hunt anywhere else.
That's another option that could be traded, Amari Cooper. Right, so I think they're gonna have to make moves. They're just gonna have to rebuild. You already made that mistake paying him the money. You have to lay in the bed that you made. It's just over.
All that money that he's getting is going straight to his lawyer fees, bro. That shit for lawyer fees. He's not worried about football right now. That shit is just crazy, man. I think they won week 1 game. I think they won week 1.
I'm forgetting who they beat, but it don't matter. They're not making the playoffs. Their franchise isn't going in the right direction, and it's definitely just gonna be.
Yeah, I have one more question before we finish up.
Oh, you gotta make it quick. So, just what's the question?
So with the Miami Dolphins, you see now Tua guy's concussion. Do you think it's time for them to move on from Tua, or to still keep him as their quarterback 1?
That's up to Tua. If Tua is telling them he wants to play and he's passing all the tests, what better quarterback are you going to get?
I think it's time to go into that draft and pick up Shador.
So, okay, so you're tossing away this season.
I'm tossing away. There's no hope for this season because you don't know when Tua's coming back. And by the time you come back it's already late in the season. The team is not getting no better. Tyreek Hill we don't even know Tyreek Hill's on the field. Who else? You got Devin Anke. I don't know if Devin Anke or Raheem Mostert, one of them is injured. Jaden Waddle hasn't looked good since what? This last season.
We have to see if Shador, which has talent, is mentally mature enough to lead an NFL team.
I think it's time to move on to it. And the thing is too, even when he's on the floor, we've seen times where Tua has looked brilliant. Like he throws for 300.
No, I'm not really a fan of Tua. And speaking of the injury, you could have slid. I was watching the game.
Yeah, you have no business running.
I was watching the game. I don't see why you go head first into the person when you could have slid, but I hope everything works out, right?
It's like his second or third concussion in 2 seasons.
You do what you feel is best for you and your family. Don't just make it you decision. If that's playing football and you're cleared, continue to do that. But if that's the case, then yeah, they have their quarterback. There's no what. I don't think they're
But
gonna want
how
to do
long
that.
you gonna have your quarterback for? And the thing is, when Tua's on the floor against a whack ass team like the bum ass, like if say they play the Panthers, he's thrown for 300 yards. Tyreek has 100 receiving yards. Everybody looks great, but when it's time to play real competition, for some reason they just fold. Every time I look at the Miami Dolphins, when it comes to him, the competition, even against the Bills, they got their ass handed to them by the
but
Bills.
there's different tiers of quarterbacks. Tua's not on the level of a Patrick
He's not
Mahomes. So what? So what are you really
But
expecting from him?
what I'm saying is, though, you have the right weapons, though. Do you not?
But he's not the right quarterback to take you where you're talking
So
about.
is it
though.
really worth having
He's a
somebody?
regular season quarterback.
But is it really worth having somebody that has all these concussion protocols? Somebody that, when it comes down to it, when you got to play a Josh Allen of the world, when you got to play a Lamar Jackson of the world, you get your ass handed to you. But when you want to play these bum ass quarterbacks like the fucking Bryce Youngs of the world, you want to play all these whack ass quarterbacks, Deshaun Watson, you could go throw for 300 yards. You could do all this. It's time to make a decision for the Dolphins. Are we gonna keep somebody that has a concussion protocol? But when he plays healthy against these main quarterbacks, Tyreek Hill is the top receiver in the game. There's no reason why, like, feel me, he should be in this position now. Are we gonna make the playoffs?
Tyreek Hill, we can't do that.
But he had that choice. You're right. He had that choice.
Could have stayed with the Kansas City Chiefs and been winning Super Bowls. He wanted the money. Now deal with it.
But I don't know, man. I
They
think it might be time to move on because at the end of the day, though, health got to play a factor. And I have to worry about your health every time you're on the football field as a quarterback, where mostly you're supposed to be like the most safe. A quarterback's supposed to be the most safe position because at the end of the day, you have people that block for you, somebody that's supposed to hold the fort down for you in your O-line. But you're telling me that at any given point, Tua could go out there and get a concussion protocol and miss the next 3 to 4 games? I don't know if I want to bank my future on that. Okay. I don't know, man.
All right, well, we're definitely going to have to see. Tomorrow is NFL Sunday. Once again, you start off with the Jets and the Vikings, I believe, at 9:30, that London game. Once again, the Jets win, guarantee.
Gary Wilson, anytime touchdown scorer?
Definitely, for sure. A lot of great games. Just be tuned into Prime and CBS and all those great networks. A lot of good games will be going on. We will be trying to continue to talk football as much as we can as the season continues. I want to thank everybody for watching the live again. All the likes, comments, subscribes, just keep them coming. Follow us on all social media platforms at It's Debatable _. And once again, Jalen will be back.
Yo, chat. Shout out to chat. Appreciate y'all W's in the chat, man. Appreciate everybody that tuned into the live today. Appreciate y'all, man.
Oh, my boy Sanchez. What's good, boy?
Trav, Mels, I see y'all. Appreciate it. Shout out to the Dallas Cowboys, too. My man's clear.